types of videos are getting a little
tiresome.
Yeah, a little mentally exhausting.
It's been a rough month.
Yeah, we've had a very rough month. As some of you guys may recall, we went to Utah and Vegas about a month ago now.
Yeah.
We went to go see my dad, who was in the hospital, and my grandma, she was also in the hospital, and unfortunately we lost my grandma during that trip, and that was very hard to deal with.
Very happy we got to go see her, though.
Oh yes, I'm so thankful and glad that I was there. I seen her, she knew I was there, all of that.
Made the trip to go make sure we seen her.
Yeah. But unfortunately with my dad, as some of you guys know, I've been kind of updating little bits here and there on him as far as his status and kind of how he's been doing. I did get a text message from Lynette, which is his wife, my stepmom, about a week ago saying that he was home. Finally. We've been waiting for a while for him to come home. Even when we got there, he was supposed to go home like the day after we got there, but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, him, just in case, Brian, her dad, and Gigi, they were both in the hospital at the same time in 2 different cities.
Yes.
One was in Salt Lake, basically, and one was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so first it started off with my dad. I got the phone call saying that his health wasn't doing very well and that he was in the hospital, and they had been to the emergency room a couple times for him. And then I think it was like a week later, 2 weeks later, I got a phone call saying that my grandma had had a stroke.
Yeah.
So within that week or so, Anthony and I, we drove. First we went and stopped and seen my dad. Hopefully uplift his spirits and just let him know we were there for him. And then we went over and saw my grandma, same thing, wanted to show our love, our support, let her know that we were there for her. And unfortunately during that trip we did lose grandma. So we came home. I've been dealing with that loss for a while and still keeping updated on my dad. I did make a very good thing to call him every single day just to make sure he's okay. He did have his good days and bad days, and you can tell on the phone if they were good or bad.
I'd say more better than bad days, though.
I would say too.
You know?
Yeah, on average, he was having, I'd say, more good than bad days.
I think he tried really hard when you called him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I'm sure when he's seen I was calling, he probably, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta be good, you know?
Yeah.
So he ended up going home. I'm not sure the exact day he went home, but it was sometime last week I got a call saying he was home. And it was like maybe a day or so later, I got another call saying that they weren't going to be doing his treatment plan anymore, that they were going to move to comfort care for my dad. And unfortunately on Saturday night, he passed away. It's been a very rough couple days for me. And it's not because I miss him, you know what I mean? And you start thinking about all the good times and the memories and, little things him and I would do when I was a kid, and those, it hurts. It partly hurts too because he was so young in my eyes, he was only 68. But that was, I knew it was coming. I'll say I know it was coming, okay? Just based on his medical condition. There was just, the treatment plan was just to kind of prolong his life a little bit. It wasn't a cure for his medical condition. And I'm sure some of you guys are kind of curious as to what exactly happened to my dad.
Well, we were hoping, though, too, from what the doctor was saying, we were hoping it was going to be at least another year to a year and a half.
Yeah, it was a year. And in my mind, I was like, and he was doing the treatment plan. And like I said, he had his good days and bad days. So there were some days were really good. And I was thinking, oh, good, the treatment plan's working.
Yeah.
Then he was going home. And I thought, oh, good, he's home now. That's good,
Yeah.
And there was other little things happening in between there that, you know, were good signs, I thought.
Yeah, everybody thought.
You know, of making a good recovery and maybe coming out of it a little bit. Because one of the things my dad mentioned to us when we were there was that he was going to try to plan a trip to come out here and come see the property and come stay. And I was kind of hoping that maybe, you know, he could get better enough to where he maybe could come out for just a little bit and just see it, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe fly out for just a day or two and come see, or drive, whatever, you know, he was able to do at the time. But unfortunately that didn't happen. I think for me that's part of what's rough too, is before we moved here, I always told my dad and my grandma that I at least want you guys to come out and see it at least one time after we're done. After the house is done, come out and just visit and just see it and absorb it and
see what we changed our whole life for.
Yeah, see what we accomplished and what we've built. And, you know, it breaks my heart that he didn't get to come see it. But I will say he did watch our YouTube channel, just like my grandma, very religiously. So he watched all of this unfold. So I'm grateful for that, for both him and my grandma, both, that they got to, I mean, he's seen the house, you know, on video.
On video, yeah.
Yeah, it's different in person, but I'm going to miss him terribly. I will never listen to the Beatles the same way again.
Yeah.
That was like one of his favorite bands.
I mean, he even grew a beard just because
I was just going to say a little funny side story. I mean, that's the whole reason why my dad has a beard, and he's had that beard my entire life. I've never seen him without it. I've only seen pictures of when he was younger. But for all my life, he's always had a beard, and he said that the Beatles were part of the inspiration for that. You know, and I have tons of little mementos from my childhood that my dad, you know, would do for me. So I won't ever forget him, you know. It just really sucks. I don't know what else to say except for just, it's like a double whammy, you know. My grandma passed away, and here it is, almost to the day, 4 weeks later, my dad passes away, you know, and I don't know,
it's a rough one, guys.
It's a roller coaster of emotions. Like I said, I think for the past like 2 days now, I've been crying. I cried so much yesterday that,
I mean, it's understandable.
Oh, I know. And I know I'm going to probably cry a couple more days, you know, and there's probably going to be times from now until the end of my life where I'll think of Dad and, you know, bring tears to my eyes, you know. Because I think that's very hard for me right now, too, is my dad was always such a huge supporter, always so proud of everything that him and I did together, everything that I accomplished in my life before we got together. And just knowing that he's not going to see that anymore.
No.
You know? But I still have to continue to make him proud, and I will.
I'm thinking, it was funny, not funny, but if you guys don't know, like Roxanne's dad, Brian, the best way I can describe him, if you just look at him, like the first time you see him, and this is how I felt when I first met him, he looked like a mean biker, right? Like, you just, from the outside looking in only, you look at that guy like, man, that guy's probably will beat me up, you know, or something, right? Because he's got the long beard, you know, he dresses in Harley stuff and, you know, wears boots, and then you look at him and then
a certain style with his hair.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go talk to him and he's like the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
The sweetest man, you know, very loving and very caring. And, you know, I was super nervous. I called him when I was deployed to ask him if I could marry Roxanne.
Yeah.
I was so nervous to call and ask him. I wish I could have done it in person. I would have if I was there.
Yeah.
But I wasn't physically there, so the best thing I could do was call, and, you know, laid out my whole game plan, and and he was like, absolutely. He's like, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I've been waiting for this day.
Yeah.
Is what he told me. And just like Gigi, same thing. Just as much, if not more. I'm not taking any away or more from anybody, but he totally brought me into the fold of the family. 150 billion%. I think I really enjoyed hanging out with Brian. Every time they'd come to visit, we went to Mexico, on trips, and they'd come to Vegas, and we'd all go out, and he'd come to our house.
Yeah.
And he looked so forward to coming over to our house, and it makes me feel good. And I don't mean it this way, like pat myself on the back or nothing like that. But he was always like, "Man, I want to go hang out with Anthony.
Yeah.
I want to go hang out with Anthony." That's what he would tell Roxanne.
Yeah.
I want to go hang out with him, and he's fun to hang around, and the best parties are always barbecues.
Yeah.
Best family gatherings and parties
get-togethers.
are always at your guys' house. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna miss that a lot too. I really wished he could have seen all this, because I think your dad would have just been in awe
Oh yeah. I think.
in real life.
Yeah. I think he definitely would have had a great time coming out here. I'm sure we would have, given the parties that he so enjoyed, what we would do in Vegas and stuff. My dad, he's a very funny person. He had a very funny personality.
Oh yeah.
The jokes and stuff he would come up with, just thinking about it makes you laugh, and those are things that even now as an adult that he would do as a kid. When I was a kid, I do, you know what I mean? Just little one-liners,
Yeah.
He was good at that. He was an awesome dad.
Yeah.
He was. I really can't say anything bad as far as, my dad. I can't. Like I said, I will truly, truly, truly miss him a lot, and because of my dad, I love motorcycles.
Yeah.
I never would have liked him probably, but my dad, loves Harleys, been in, like he said, he's like a biker guy, and he is. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I remember as a kid, he always had motorcycles, always.
I've hardly ever seen him without a Harley Davidson shirt on.
Yeah.
Like very hardly. We bought him a Harley shirt here and sent it to him.
Yeah, for his birthday this year.
'Cause he likes to collect the Harley shirts from all the different places,
Yeah,
because they always say
where they're
Fort
from.
Smith, Arkansas, or Dallas, Texas. You guys know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So he had so many, and
Yeah, and we always made a conscious decision too, like when we were out, like when we went to Hawaii for a honeymoon, we went to the Harley shop there, and we bought him a t-shirt.
Yeah.
And so it was always one of those things like, oh, we're in a new city, we got to go to the Harley place.
Yeah, do they have one? Let's go. Let's go get a shirt.
Yeah, let's go get a shirt for my dad, And so I'm really gonna miss him.
It's been rough.
It has been rough.
I mean, one's enough, guys. One person's enough. Losing Gigi, and then now Brian within a month span.
Yeah.
It's like unfathomable.
Yeah, and
You think it's not real.
it's true. You do.
You forget, and then you realize again, oh yeah, it really is real.
It's a real thing. Yeah. I've never experienced losing a parent, and I don't like it. You don't ever do, right? So this is, I don't know. It's just been such a rough month with emotions. I don't know.
I'm not really liking 2024 too much.
Yeah, it kind of leads to the, like I say, it's weird. The first half of the year was great.
Yeah.
This first half of the year, I mean, we just said I bought my dad a Harley Davidson shirt for his birthday. I sent him like a box with moon pies, you know what I mean?
He was so happy.
He was so excited. He called me and he was like, I got your package today. Thank you so much. I'm getting down on these moon pies right now, He loved moon pies, by the way.
The banana moon pies.
The banana ones.
It was his favorite.
Yeah.
And they don't sell them over there.
No.
So
When we first moved to Arkansas, I went to the Walmart in town and they had moon pies there. And I told Anthony, I said, I have to get some and send them to my dad. So we did. We sent him like a big box full of moon pies that first year we were here.
Yeah, because you can't buy them over there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, it's a little story behind it. My dad would go to work, and then on his way home, he would always stop by the gas station, and he'd always get moon pies and bring them home for the kids, me and my sister. So it's so much. I can't even describe kind of like what I'm feeling, because I feel, you know, I love my grandma. I'm still was trying to process all of that and kind of get over that, and I was starting to.
No.
You know, I was.
Well, the healing was starting.
Yeah, I was starting to, okay, you know. But then now I got my dad, I got the call about my dad, and that kind of set me back a little bit because, you know, that obviously brings on feelings about my grandma again, you know.
Well, your grandma and grandpa, or your grandma and your dad, they're like two peas in a pod. That's her son, you know. So, like, there's a whole chapter of things that's just gone.
Yeah.
You know, and I want to say this right now. Your uncle, Jeff, if you ever see this, Jeff, I feel really bad, and I'm so sorry for you. Jeff, that's Brian's brother. Jeff is the only one left.
Yeah. So I talked to my Uncle Jeff that day when he called to tell me about my dad. You know, I feel so bad for Jeff too, because, you know, it's his mom. And then it was his brother, which is not only his brother, but it was his best friend. They did everything together.
Everything.
Yeah, they went to shows, concerts. They went to Mexico together a bunch. They would go golfing on the weekends together. They had so much fun together, the both of them. You know, and just like me, right?
I'm sure he doesn't know what to do. I'm
sure he's a mess. I haven't really reached out to anybody in the last couple days because I've just been dealing with my own emotions right now. I'm trying to be strong. And I know it will pass in time, you know.
Oh.
You know, there will be times where, like I said, I'll hear a song or something and it will make me think of my dad, and so
we're gonna.
This is a video I didn't really want to make it, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I just did this.
We did just do it.
You know, and
we did just make one of these. You know, and we're only making this because we said, like before, guys. There's been a lot of you guys that have been following us for over 4 years.
Yeah, and some of you might have
seen
my dad. He's been on a couple of our lives. I actually went back through on our lives yesterday to see if they were there, and they're not.
I'm not sure.
On our thing, because I just to have a video with my dad, like a video of him. I don't have that.
That's the only reason why we're making this. Let you guys know what's going on with our life right now.
Yeah.
Because it's very roller coaster right now. We got so many things physically that we got to do around here, but there's so much emotional stuff going on at the same time. And it's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard. You know, I mean, there's certain things expected out of us, but it's hard to do that when all kinds of personal stuff's going on. You know what I mean? That's why we want to make this video for you guys, just so you know what's going on.
Yeah.
You guys have been with us for 4 years, and I think you guys deserve that. For you loyal subscribers that watch us every video we do, and we're trying not to let you guys down, but we're trying not to be too personal either, because even though we are on, you know, social media, on YouTube, like I've said before, I mean, we are people.
Yeah.
You know, we're human beings, and you know, it affects us just like everybody else in their lives. Things like this affect them. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, the last couple of days, I've just been so emotional. I mean, I'm trying really hard not to cry on camera.
And it's okay if you do.
I know it's okay. It's just I don't want to cry and then you guys can't understand what I'm saying, you know. I don't know. I'm over it, if that makes sense. Like, you know, let me heal and repair myself and come back from this so I can continue my life, and, you know, no more setbacks, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, no more setbacks in life.
No.
You know, but that is life. You know, things happen. There's good things and there's misery and, you know, everything. And you gotta
You roll with the punches.
roll with the punches the best you can.
You know,
I think it's very important at the same time for everybody. When something is going good or bad, mainly bad in your life, you know, I think you do need to self-reflect and make sure that you're okay.
yeah.
First and foremost, kind of a thing, because you can't be there for other people to help them out if you're not okay.
Yeah. No, 100%.
If that makes sense. So we're trying.
Yeah. I will say I am so glad and so thankful that we were there to see my dad when we went.
Yeah.
It was a good visit, I felt. I mean, given the situation at the time, you know, being in the hospital and stuff, but it was a good visit, you know, and I did, like I said, I did talk to him every day so he could hear my voice. I didn't want him to think I wasn't there or forgot about him, which I know he didn't.
He didn't.
But, you know, those are always thoughts that you get in your mind after someone passes, you know. Did they know I loved them? You know.
Well, just remember the good times. I know you do. I know you will.
Yeah, that's why it's so painful.
I know. But you know what? That's what your dad would have wanted you to remember. Just all the fun, the good times. That's what I'm remembering with your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Is all the good times, all the fun we had in the backyards and barbecues and
Trips and
4th of July's in Park City when they got me so inebriatedly too much adult beverage they had to throw me in the car. That's a story for a different time, guys.
yeah. That was a good
I
time.
blame
though.
Brian and I blame Jeff on that one.
Yeah.
They did it to me on purpose. Such good times.
It was. I do. I have a lot of good memories with my dad, so those I will cherish forever.
Yep.
I'm just gonna really miss him.
So we are trying to stay as positive as we can, guys. It's kind of hard to stay positive when there's been so much negativity, bad things happening.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Tragedies going on. I'm just really hoping that this is the end of it.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
I can't take any more.
No, it's been, like I said, a rough one, a roller coaster of emotions. This last 5 months has been really rough.
I will say, guys, I have never cried so much more in my entire life than I have in these last 5 months, and it all started with Lillian running away. That's when it started, and then it's just progressively cried more and more and more, you know?
So we are going to take a few days, gather ourselves the best we can. We need to figure out what's going on, and then we're gonna try to focus on ourselves and things around here the best we can.
Healing.
You know, and just take it day by day. I think is the best we can do.
Well, that's what they would want us to do too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Continue on and keep doing what we're doing. And work on what we're building and, our life here.
We'll try our best.
Yeah.
Got to keep moving forward. You can't stop. You can't give up.
You just keep swimming.
As Dory would say, you just keep swimming.
Yeah, just keep swimming.
So we'll miss Brian. I miss him still right now. I miss him right now.
Yeah.
He was a really good dude. He was a really, really good dude.
He was very awesome.